Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing very well, and if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel. It does help me a lot, and if anything resonates with you during this reading, then please do pop a comment down there or like the post, or even share it if you feel inclined to, if you think it will resonate with somebody else. So we're going to do a bit of a Celtic cross again today. I enjoy doing these ones, and I feel like a lot of you enjoy these ones as well. So these ones tend to be about a specific current situation, and then we look at the focus for that, any challenges to do with that, the advice to do with that, things that you can let go of, hopes and fears, and then final outcomes as well. So let's get into it. Now these can take a little while to do, so you might want to get yourself comfortable, grab yourself a cup of tea or something so that you can enjoy it. Okay, so just pop into your mind right now your current situation. If there's something on your mind at this time that you would like to know about, just have a think about that right now, and we'll see what cards come out for you. So what is our current situation for this particular viewer today? Oh, okay, so we've got two on here that have come out. Now we have the High Priestess and the Devil in reverse. Now these are Welsh cards, Llewellyn cards, so they don't know if you can see the pictures too great, but what this is suggesting is your current situation at the moment is you are breaking out of some chains of something that's kind of been holding you in a place. It might be something that's been a bit obsessive around you at the moment, or just really taking up a lot of your time, attention, kind of something that's been tempting but holding you back quite a bit. So this is somebody breaking free from addictions and things like that. And with the High Priestess there, this is kind of like you've been intuitively guided towards this. It's almost like you've had a realization of what's holding you back in your life. And you've kind of like thought to yourself, you know, perhaps it's come through dreams or something like that, but it's made you realise, actually, I need to break free from this. I need to allow myself out of this. I just got that Queen song stuck in my head. I want to break free. So perhaps that's relevant to you or resonates with you. There's a little bit of humour in there as well. So maybe you're starting to find your humour again. Maybe you kind of lost your ability to find humour for a little while. But your current situation is looking like you following your intuition and breaking free, breaking the chains. So let's see what rune resonates with that at the moment. Perthrow. So yeah, it's like you've decided to take a leap of faith, take a chance. This has come out a lot lately in many readings, and it's kind of like suggesting that something that's kind of had a real hold over you for some time, and you've kind of gone like, you know, oh, enough's enough now. I need to, you know, this isn't serving its purpose anymore. It's not bringing me any joy or hope. It's not bringing me anything good. And this is kind of like, it feels to me like you actually stepping into your feminine power. So whether you're male or female doesn't matter. There's no gender in this. It's about the inner feminine energy. So it's almost like accessing your inner emotion, your kind of ability to flow, to move, to take charge of something, but on an emotional level. So that's what I'm feeling for you, for your current situation at this time. Now let's see what your challenge is within this. So what is the challenge right here? Half the bloody pack. We've got the Queen of Pentacles there, but I'm going to just give that another go because I don't know if that was right or not. Okay, the challenge. Well, remember the Queen of Pentacles, because I feel like that is actually about going through healing, or maybe you have been going to somebody for healing recently to help you to make sense of this, or to help you to break free of these chains. Maybe it's like somebody's energy has a hold over you, perhaps, and that could be, doesn't necessarily have to be like a romantic connection. It could be a friend or family or something in your life, or even a boss, you know, something that's got like a hold over you, that you want to break free from these chains, that you're dreaming about it a lot, you're ready to kind of release from it, get the freedom from it. And the challenge is coming up as the Hermit. Now, this is where you've kind of like, you've gone within, but I feel like you've perhaps gone within to a point where it's like you've become a little bit withdrawn and at times maybe feeling a little bit isolated, like you're in your own mind a lot. And the challenge here is you sort of feeling the ability to step out of that space. You needed to have that introspection. You needed that time to yourself to really figure things out, and find this intuition, the inner tutor. And now that you've found it, you've kind of like got into a bit of a routine, I feel. So it's almost like your routine has become like, well, at this time of the day I'll do this now, and at this time of the day I'll do that now, and you're not seeing an outlet for anything being able to change because of this routine that you've got yourself into, but actually it's feeling a little bit isolated. Let's grab a rune to go with that on there. So what is the rune that represents your challenge at this time? Yeah, it's kind of like that energy of there's something that needs to give here. There's something that you are very connected to your higher conscience right now. You're getting a lot of intuitive downloads, you're getting a lot of synchronicities, information, dreams, that kind of thing, and it's all guiding you. It's almost like it's teaching you or telling you what you need to do. But your challenge here at the moment is making that sacrifice, having the courage to kind of step forward, step out of this pattern that you've got yourself into, this cycle of kind of isolation, basically. Okay. I keep putting things either side and I don't know what I've done with everything. So, what do we need to focus on right now? What is your focus at this time? Where do we need to focus? What do you need to focus on? Let's see what this focus is. It's not coming out, is it? So perhaps we're lacking a bit of focus right now. Maybe we're distracting ourselves with other things so that we don't have to focus. That could be it. Okay, I'm going to go for that one there that fell out. Right, so we've got the Seven of Swords. Now, this is in the reverse position, so I feel like the focus here is about being honourable. It's about finding the ability to share. That might be sharing what's going on with you, where you're at. Now, when it's in the upright position, this can be someone that's kind of like hiding something, running away from things, kind of like being the lone wolf. Whereas this is an energy of somebody that doesn't want to be the lone wolf anymore, doesn't want to be in this isolation anymore. You're ready to commit, I feel, to a new way of being, to something that feels better for you or more in line with what you really, really want. So it's almost like where there may have been an energy of keeping things to yourself before, now there's a feeling of wanting to express. Swords are the energy of the element of air and clarity and communication. So there is that want to sort of communicate and be honourable, I feel. It's kind of like there's a shift in energy with this. You spent a lot of time thinking about this and now you're ready for action. So let's see what rune goes with your focus. Yeah, it's that the focus here is allowing the full cycle of the initiation period. So you, I feel, have asked a question about where you are supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. And some time ago, and I feel like this may have actually been perhaps a year ago, something like that, where you made a choice or a decision to be the best version of yourself or to do things differently, to shed a skin of a past version of yourself, and you started to make changes in your lifestyle and in things that you do, and that kind of made a change in the people that you are around. Perhaps you started to shed certain people from your life, or they just kind of slipped away. But now you kind of at a point where what you need to focus on there is remembering that intention that you set for yourself, because during that year you've been in this initiation process that the universe has kind of created for you, with you, and you're at the end of the cycle now. It's almost like you're right at the point of initiation. You're ready for the ceremony, so don't give up. And it's remembering what that intention was. So they're guiding you, you know, Spirit is guiding you to continue down this honourable route. It's like I see somebody as a warrior ready to kneel down and be knighted, almost like have that sword sort of put over them. Don't run away from this just yet. You're almost there. You're almost at that point. So the focus here is about, like, you know, don't drop your swords and run at this point. It's pick up your sword and be honourable. Remember who you are, and remember what it is that your intention was in the first place. Okay, what do you need to leave behind? What is it that you need to leave behind? Okay, so what you need to leave behind here is this fear of being nurtured, of going through a healing process. There's a feeling of, if you don't have it all together, then, you know, who's gonna do that for you? There's been this deep desire about being self-made and sort of having it all, having everything that you need, and it's almost like you feel like you never get in there, or you haven't quite managed to get where you want to get to, especially on that financial level. But there's a point now where you're sort of like, you know, there's a need to perhaps, in some respects, hold back from being too generous in a certain way, so that you can bring that money back towards you. Because I've got an energy of somebody that's kind of like, feels like the money's constantly slipping away. There's something on a financial level here that I feel has kept you locked in this situation that you want to break free from, the chains that you want to break from. So leaving in the past this feeling of, like, you know, striving to be this Queen of Pentacles all the time, trying to achieve that. And it's not saying that you're never going to get to that point, but it's almost changing the scene and being present, being aware of where I am right now and what my needs are right now. But there's this, like, thought in your mind of what you're supposed to be doing right now, or what you're supposed to look like at this point in your life, and you're feeling like you're not quite there. And then looking at this shiny Queen of Pentacles, like, oh, you know, look, everybody else seems to be achieving this, that and the other, and I'm still trying to break free from this. But this is your journey, not theirs. And you can't look at other people and wish you had this, that and the other that they've got. They're on a different journey to you, and your journey is something a little bit different to that. I feel like right now you're in this journey of finding discipline within yourself, finding the honour within yourself, honouring yourself, basically. So I'm going to get a rune to go with that, what we are leaving behind in the past. Okay. There's something to do with expectations within your family on this one as well. Is there could be an element of feeling like you're due some inheritance, or that you thought you were going to get some inheritance that you didn't actually get, and you kind of maybe thought in your life, well, once I've got that, I'll be sorted. And then if things change and you're not actually getting what you thought, it can hold you back a little bit. In, you know, you've got to let go of that version or that thought that you expected at this point in your life, because it's actually not helping you to move forward. And actually your spirit team, they are guiding you through your intuition towards something that is quite fortunate for you and affluent for you, but you can't see it right now because you feel a little bit swamped down with money worries or things like that going on in your life at this time. Yeah, but let go of that thought of like, I should be self-made by now, I should have all this stuff by now, I should be further along on my healing journey by now. This is about you being present at this point, and you know, just, you've already started the wheels in motion. It just takes time and patience. You've already started to break free from those restraints. There's the Queen of Cups, that she's fallen out a couple of times. I've seen her a couple of times on here. And this is kind of like, again, there's a lot of feminine energy within this. That's kind of suggesting that need for more flow of emotional stability, you know, kind of acknowledging those feelings, those thoughts, because sometimes it can be too easy to get the bravado out there of like, nothing really gets to me, nothing affects me, when actually maybe it does. So what are your strengths then at this time? What strengths do we have? Oh, that like flew out very nicely, didn't it? Your strengths are strengths. The Six of Wands is all about like a glow up, if you like. It's somebody that really stands out, that's kind of like really achieved a lot. So this normally comes out when there's somebody that's perhaps like an influencer or something, you know, is in the limelight, is seen. Perhaps you've got quite a following on social media, that type of thing. It's somebody that, you know, you've got a lot of pride in yourself. I do feel you take a lot of pride in yourself, and that's why I think you've got a struggle here with this, because the image that you portray or put across is that you are self-made, you've got it all sorted, but you're feeling like you haven't because there's a restriction there. You feel held back. Now, this Six of Wands is the strength of being able to take action and move forward triumphantly. You've always had the ability to take on a challenge and make the best of things. I do feel that you are the kind of person, perhaps you have like fire sign or earth sign within your chart, or maybe both. And you've got the ability to be triumphant in what you work towards, in what you're going towards. So this current situation, if you had any doubts about being able to move forward in it, then don't, because you are going to be triumphant. You've got all of the skills, the equipment that you need to be able to move forward in this. Let's get the rune that goes with that for you. Yeah, I don't think you could have had a better one on there. Wyrd is a rune all about ecstatic joy. You're about to enter a time that is very joyful because you've managed to break free from these chains, because you've given up this idealization of what things should look like, and you've just decided to go ahead with your pride triumphantly and take action. And it's in that action that you're going to find ecstatic joy, harmony, peace, everything that you've been looking for. You're going to find it from there. I just heard somebody saying something about toilet rolls, and I don't know what that's all about, but that might be significant to you. And it's almost like somebody jokingly sort of saying like, I can't even afford to buy toilet rolls or something like that. But this is, you know, you haven't lost that humour, and it's coming back now. Your humour is coming back, and there are very good things coming for you in your life. So let's see what your future brings on this then. So what is the future for you with this situation? What is your future? Okay, let's see what your future is, shall we? I'm sure something will come out in a moment for you. What is your future? It's funny how these cards sometimes speak. It's almost like, oh, do we really want to let them know the future though? Because they've got some work to do yet. Come on, what's the future of this particular situation? Ah, we have the future is death and rebirth. So this is the end and the beginning. So your future is showing as a way forward that is completely different to what you've known before. It's a complete shedding of an old skin and a new way of being. There may be some vulnerability within that, but you've got so much pride and so much confidence and triumph here. I don't think it's really going to, you're going to embrace it, I feel. It's going to be more of an embrace rather than something to fear or be concerned about. But there is, it's showing on there, things that you will let go of in order to move forward. There's a lot of white horses on here as well. I don't know if white horses mean anything to you. Okay, so it's asking you right now, the future is saying, just trust it, trust in this. Right now, you're being asked to sort of, you know, you're in this kind of self-container at the moment, and that's what that hermit energy was talking about. But this is about you driving forward now, and you've still got that protection around you. You've still got that being able to trust in the invisible is what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, is you need to trust in the invisible forces that are around you, that are guiding you. That intuition that we saw at the beginning, it's, you know, that is the driving force in this at the moment, and it's asking you to take a chance and trust. You know, what you're moving towards is something that you haven't experienced before. It's more natural than what you've been used to before. Say, for instance, if previously you've gone for something that's a bit more commercialised, this is more organic, if that makes sense. Say, for instance, you may have, if this is to do with love or like meeting somebody, previously you may have gone on dating apps and things like that, whereas this is more just organically meeting somebody somewhere, okay? Just like bumping into somebody and something happening. So they're asking you to just trust in where you're being guided to go, what you're being guided to do, because you are at the moment moving forward in that. June is a significant month for you around this. June is a time where you are really going to see unfolding this ending and new beginning. And I feel like it's June is where the new beginning is going to start, okay? So let's see what your advice is. What is your advice? What is your advice? Okay, so we've got your advice is the Two of Swords. So I feel like this is kind of saying to you, in the past, you may have been a little bit avoidant or indecisive, had an inability to make a decision or choice, and kind of like blocking yourself. So what they're asking you to do is to constantly be in touch with your intuition and don't block your path yourself. There's an element of somebody that can be a little bit like, have imposter syndrome, almost like a, you know, well, I can't go down that route because I'm going to be uncovered as not knowing what I'm doing or not the right person for the job, that kind of thing. Whereas this is kind of suggesting to you, it's like, you know, don't self-sabotage your opportunities here, because there is a lot of opportunity for you, like I say, in the next couple of months coming up. And the advice here is don't sabotage that by being indecisive, by feeling like you can't make a choice, and by closing off your heart by the look of it. So it feels like, you know, be open to the opportunities that are arising towards you, that are arising for you. Don't block it. Don't block those opportunities. Let's see what room we have on there. Manas, yeah. So it's really been being aware of yourself as much as possible. Be really aware of yourself and those patterns that you have that kind of create that sabotage, because you are starting to understand those patterns now, and when they are arising, where you get that energy of sort of like, oh, something's going really well for me, something's feeling exciting, something's feeling really good, and then there's this element of sort of like, well, now my ego is going to try and find all the things that are going to break that down. We may have said before, like the power of the ego can be sort of like, you know, the ego knows what it knows, and what it knows, it thinks it's safe, and what it doesn't know, it thinks it's unsafe. So it's sort of like Manas is sort of suggesting on here, recognize the patterns with that. Recognize when you are about to sabotage an opportunity and stop yourself from doing it. You need to then take a different way, go down a different path, do something different. And that's what I'm saying about, it's like opening the heart. So perhaps this is about you really, instead of running away, maybe turn to somebody and tell them how you're feeling and what's going on, and share that problem. Allow that to be seen, and you're going to get a different outcome to what you believe you're going to get. Yeah, like I said, the ego tries to keep you safe. It wants to keep you safe, but sometimes it can actually prevent you from moving forward and growing. And this is about, Manas is kind of like in your advice here, it's giving you an opportunity to change that pattern, to recognize the pattern and change it, collapse it. Okay, so what about your environment? What's your environment like at this time? What do we have? Oh, just got the moon coming out on there, so that might come out again, we'll see. About your environment. Ooh. Got the universe there and judgment. I think I'm going to take both of those actually. So we've got, that's interesting. In your environment, we've got the universe in the upright position and judgment in the reverse position. So again, it's kind of like at the moment your environment is about, you've got some masking and some doubts. It's sort of like you're hiding certain aspects. It's almost like you're denying yourself of your true essence. You're denying yourself of what you truly want, what you really want. And with the universe here, which is also the world, there's a want to travel. There's a want to sort of explore. So your environment is like you want to go places. You want to go and see the world and things like that. But there's also this element of denying yourself of something that you feel is your true essence or truly resonates with your soul. There is an opportunity in your environment for joy and feeling complete and feeling like things are, yeah, that Wyrd energy, that ecstatic joy. There's a feeling I'm getting from your environment there that there is an opportunity for that. But like we said before with this advice card, it's like, don't sabotage that. If the opportunity's there, this is your opportunity to collapse the patterns that create the sabotage. And this is recognising, you know, what you need on there. I love this one. It's actually, if you know Wales, I don't know where you're from, but if you're from the UK, there's a place in Wales called Cadair Idris, and this is Cadair Idris. It's a really, really beautiful place if you ever get to go. It's not too bad to walk, but it's a really beautiful place. So it's kind of like taking that challenge, isn't it? Taking that challenge to sort of, you know, if you want to go and travel and do things like that, then if that's your joy, you've got to go and do it. You've got to go and explore that. Where does the doubt come from? What are you masking and why? Why do you feel like you need to do that? You know, there is the opportunity for this completion in terms of this initiation period here. And like I say, you've got so close to it right now. You're about to be honoured. Don't run away at this point. Okay, you've got to see it through. Definitely see it through. So let's see what rune we have for you for your environment. Okay, yeah, so Thorazaz. So you may be feeling a little bit defensive, a bit protective over something at this time because you're doubting, you're masking how you're really feeling about something. And because of that, it's keeping you in this kind of like defensive energy. You're not really letting anybody in. And sometimes in that energy, I feel like you kind of tend to run away a little bit. Like decide to sort of just, you know, well, I'm just going to run away. I'm going to go off here or off there or something like that. Whereas this is kind of like suggesting, well, actually, maybe just stay in it. Allow yourself to find that true essence of how you really feel. Collapse that pattern. And it brings you into a more, I'm getting the word authentic. It's like it brings you into a more authentic version of yourself. And that's the energy that we're getting from Thorazaz on here, because Thorazaz is kind of a rune that shows up at the beginning when you need to take action. It's almost like Thorazaz will be there if like it's the seal on something that says, right, you made this statement, you made this intention, now it's time to take action. You said it and we're not going to let you back down from it. Okay. Trust me on that one. Thorazaz is a very powerful rune. So let's see what your hopes and fears are. What are your hopes and fears? Hopes and fears. Woo. Okay. Hopes and fears is coming out as strength. So maybe you hope you have the courage and the bravery to move forward. And maybe you fear not having the courage and the strength to move forward. Now, strength also holds an energy of, you know, is this lust or is it love? It's that got that kind of energy to it. It's almost like, am I going to be strong and move forward in something that actually isn't what I thought it was or what I believe it to be? So it's kind of like maybe summoning up the courage and the bravery to go into something that actually you're like, but is it actually for me? You know, am I going to waste my energy here? So where does that doubt come from? Maybe it comes from, like what we said before on there, is this pattern of self-sabotage. Like, oh, something's actually quite good for me. Something feels quite good, quite natural or easy. I think that's the word. Something that feels too easy, maybe. Too easy. And you're looking for where's the other shoe going to drop. That's the kind of energy I'm getting from this as your hopes and fears. So what rune do we have for hopes and fears on there? Algiz. There is an energy with the hopes and fears and the strength card there of having a fear of lusting over something and getting lost in that lust. Almost like there's a real deep attraction or something within this that you've always hoped for, you've always wanted, but you feel like it has a power over you sometimes. And perhaps the fear is that if that has a power over you, you know, I need to set some healthy boundaries here. So in your hopes and fears, it's kind of like suggesting about, you know, you can move towards something with courage, with bravery, but hold boundaries with it. Okay, so it's almost like you know, I'm moving towards this, I'm heading towards this, but these are the boundaries. Okay, it's okay to sort of state that. And I think this is part of you unmasking and opening up and not doubting what your soul is crying out for, what you are asking for. Okay, I'm going to get your final outcome card then now. So what is the final outcome here? What is your final outcome? I'm getting a feeling that, like, where this situation that you're in at the moment, you felt like this before in the past. And so there's a fear of however that turned out, this going the same way. But you've kind of been asked to let go of the past. You've come through some karmic lessons of things that have happened for you in the past, to you in the past. So it's asking you to have the courage and the bravery now to move forward and trust and guide in your intuition. Because it's not the same, because you're not the same, because actually a lot of what you've been through in the past year has helped you to realise some things that you want to change. I just saw the Queen of Cups again on there. So what is your outcome? What is the outcome of this situation? Queen of Cups again. What is the outcome of this situation? What is the outcome of this situation? Two of Cups. A lot of cups coming out here. What is the outcome of this situation? Justice. Okay. Truth. Integrity. Balance. So this is, I just know when I'm coming to the end of the thing because I have to move my leg. So this is the energy of, gaining some balance here through the fact that you are opening up to that truth within you, is what I'm feeling from this. And this has been, I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same words in a lot of the readings that I've been doing recently. It's coming up as very similar as before. But this is kind of like, suggesting that the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free, and by being that honourable, going through fully this initiation period, following that advice of not self-sabotaging, recognising the patterns and collapsing them, it brings you closer to the truth within you and the ability to honour your true essence. Don't doubt it, don't fear it, don't deny yourself of it. And that's basically, you will be massively honoured for this. Remember your strengths. Your strengths was this Six of Wands with Wunyo. Like one of the most fortunate runes that you could possibly have. That ecstatic joy. That is your potential. That's your strength in here. You have the ability to bring that to you if you allow it, through truth and integrity. Let's see what rune we have on there. That's number 11 as well. So you may have been seeing a lot of 1-1s or looking at the clock and it's 1111, things like that. Ah, okay. We have Ewaz. So Ewaz is the rune of relationships. So this could be to do with a relationship or stepping into a relationship, or just being the relationship with yourself. It's like healing a lot of past wounds and allowing yourself to, fully be happy with who you are. I do feel, and hear me out on this, I'm not judging anybody or saying anything to anybody, but you may have a history of lying to yourself or convincing yourself of, what's the word, hoodwinking. So it's like, what you're doing, but you're turning a blind eye to it, and it's lacking integrity. So hear me out on that one. I'm not sort of saying that you're a bad person or that you do bad things or that you are deceitful or anything like that. But it's more how we can lie to ourselves, Say, for instance, I'm going to use an example of like maybe a packet of cookies, okay? So if somebody's got a packet of cookies, they may have one, a cup of tea, have one, go and have another one, and then your personal trainer comes round, okay? And they say to them, like, what have you had today? Oh, well, my usual, my salad, my blah, 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 blah. And they don't mention these cookies whatsoever, but they know that they've had these cookies. And it comes around the conversation, did you have any cookies today? I had one. When realistically, you actually had the whole pack or half the pack or something like that. Now, you know for certain what you had, but you don't want to admit that. And so you're kind of lying to yourself. And that's the energy I'm talking about, is sort of like in the past you kind of have quite easily lied to yourself and got used to doing that. But it's kind of led you into this space of unused potential. It's, you know, by actually honouring your truth, you set yourself free from these chains, and you're allowing yourself to explore a place of integrity, truth, strength in your relationships, healthy boundaries, and ecstatic joy. This is all on the table for you if you don't allow yourself to sabotage your efforts by lying to yourself or convincing yourself and denying yourself of your true essence. It's on the table, it's ready for you, but you have to be the one to go for it. You have to be the one to recognise the patterns, collapse them, in order to move into this healthy relationship with yourself and with others. Okay? Ewas. Trust in relationships is what this represents, and ultimately that relationship with yourself. Okay, so I'm going to leave your reading here for you, and if that resonated with you and you would like to go deeper into this, then please do get in touch. My details are down in the description box. You can also book in for like 1 or 2 question short readings as well. They're a lot cheaper if you just want a quick answer, something like that, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with those. If this did resonate with you, I would love it if you could leave a small comment or an emoji or something, and make sure you like the video as well, so that other people are more likely to see it too. I would be so grateful if you could do that for me, and I hope you have a blessed evening. Blessed be.